it got made into a command report, but a state marshal report written by uh, Director Angel regarding Riker. So this has been being looked into for a while, I believe, from the
I can,
dates and stuff that's in there.
without knowledge or general knowledge, this can only be about one thing. If I had to imagine,
What do
What?
you...
it's
Context?
probably like the Tilly situation. No,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, turns out that Riker has changed the statement a couple times. Yeah. And he admitted to lying to Pred. Came clean a little bit to Bell. And state
Angel's
marshals are
report is not there
probably
anymore, by the way.
Yeah,
okay.
it's not there.
All right, she revoked the thing that she shared it with us, but we couldn't see it that way either. So temporarily made it a command report so we could see it. It gave us like a breakdown of what happened on certain dates, but essentially, Riker's lied, probably to try and save himself from any sort of disciplinary instead of just coming clean. He took things out of his statement. Um, he's admitted to lying to Pred in a questioning thing, which isn't going to be used in court. I don't know why, but it isn't going to be used. She's pressing charges though, and the charge that she's looking to press is evidence tampering.
That'll be interesting.
Uh,
So I read, Belle came up to me last night and she said, here it is. It still needs to be fixed. And I skimmed through it. I did write some notes before I came on duty. I wasn't planning to come on duty, but anyway. I don't think changing information in a report isn't inherently considered evidence tampering, as a report is not quote unquote evidence. Changing his statement, though, however, goes outside of our bounds of SOPs. So internally, we have things that we need to deal with.
yeah, so it's more so essentially they were obviously investigating whether rights were violated or whatever, right? But with it being past the statute and everything, I think they're more so looking into the conduct of officers. They haven't really got much to press on for Maeve. Other the issue that they have with Maeve is the fact that between Riker and Maeve being questioned by the state marshals, it appears as though they corroborated with each other because they were Maeve apparently was bringing up things that were brought up in Riker's questioning.
I mean, that doesn't
So that,
surprise me.
yeah, and that doesn't look good. Full stop. I think they fucked up. I think they did go through the SIM card without the proper authority to do so. I think they realized. I think they shit themselves, and then I think they lied about it, which is one thing. And then they've kept the story going by covering for each other, even to the point where a statement was amended to take certain details out. So essentially, Angel showed us that there was differences between the two statements. So Riker had put in a statement. What happened is Riker didn't have a statement in, but the day before, Pred and Riker was set to meet to be questioned about this incident. Riker put a statement in. And then a few days after that, after he'd spoken with Preds, that statement got changed ever so slightly on very specific details.
Not only that, this report was FOIA'd on the 13th. They denied the FOIA because it was an active investigation, but they didn't do any changes, anything other than the change
There was no
until
investigation, basically.
I
They
don't want
did
to,
no work towards it.
basically.
Okay.
And then the whole like Riker coming clean to Bell. This was, according to Angel's timeline, this was 1 hour after Angel called a couple of officers into the marshal's office to get a meeting about this subject. So this happened weeks ago. This is even the interview with Pred and everything, where he lied in the interview and then admitted to Bell that he lied. This happened weeks ago, and he only came clean now because we were gonna find out anyway. So that's what it scares me a little bit on his conduct as an officer, because he pushed it to the limit to hide it as much as possible.
None of this would have happened really if they'd have just come clean. I know it was a big fuck up. I know that they shouldn't have gone through the SIM card, and I know they were probably petrified. But nobody had even bothered to mention this to command, especially Shift 1 command, until I guess Riker decided to come forward with it.
Do you want me to call Angel and ask her to just put the report in command?
Yeah, please.
So how much does Slacks like factor into all this? Because my understanding is that it was his decision before I heard about all this.
So apparently he admitted to the mistake and the mishap and everything, right? And he was forthcoming with it. The issue is Riker's basically tried to deny it and tried to. He had a statement. He then changed the statement to change the wording to reflect him denying it, essentially. States he couldn't remember, and now all of a sudden he can remember. He admitted to having a lawyer go through his statement before he put the statement in. That's what's the concerning thing about it, because at what point do we ever go to a lawyer with our
the dead guy? He's not fucking dead.
A lawyer with our statement for an incident we've been involved in? At what point do we get a lawyer to read our statement before we put it in? Because that's doctoring a statement. So a statement should be about what you saw, did, and witnessed. With the whatever the hell you're investigating, right? But he had a lawyer go through and basically make sure and doctor it so that it didn't put him in a bad light, I guess.
So the issue I have is that someone will have to deal with the lawyers. That's separate. The reason why he's talking to the lawyers is because when Pred interrogated him, he said, if you want to get lawyers, go for it. So he did. He went and got lawyers. So he's been obviously talking to the atlases, getting information. I think it is gross misconduct from the lawyers to tell anybody to change your statement. The fact is it's 39 days later. I just think that in itself, I'm going to go to the justice and talk about that. From Riker, I read through our SOPs. Back in April, we changed the SOPs to clearly state that even if you are working on an investigation or a report, that you are to add additional information, not to change information.
Yes.
You're also supposed to date when additional information is put in. So unfortunately, I see a break of our current SOPs there. I don't believe that he is fit for investigations. He is not fit for FTO, and I know that they both just got FTO, what, about 2 weeks? 2 weeks ago? The fact that he said he is rattled when being questioned, he's the one that put himself forward to be part of CIB. He's the one, you can't want to be a detective and then get rattled yourself.
No, I know. I feel like he's trying to find an excuse for his behavior, essentially.
Yeah.
Also, as chief, that's the minimum of his concerns are the certs right now, because that's not even our idea.
Right. So the fact that you say you don't remember and now suddenly you remember
everything.
I'm sorry, that for me is unfit to be an officer.
Yeah. So this is why I wanted to pull you both in here.
Panel season.
Knowing the fact that obviously this could, whether or not they get found, whether Riker gets found guilty of it or not, it's not like that's not gonna essentially be the reason why I'm suggesting what I'm suggesting. But I do believe I didn't realize I was going to be able to meet with you guys today, so I was going to suspend pending review for position.
You don't need to say it. A panel, right?
No.
I hate panels.
Why
did? I don't think this warrants a panel.
Hang on. So I was going to suspend pending a review for position just so that I could speak to you guys first and just be like, okay, is it okay if I let go of Riker? And then give you my justification for it.
Dude, I don't know why people shit on the fucking panel RP so much.
I unfortunately
it brings like
I'm unable
good
to
roleplay conclusion for the character. Like it's so.
In the position.
It
that
fucking
they're in.
pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
They've broken trust, and how are we supposed to take their word over, I don't know, a suspect?
Like it just kills fucking
regarding
roleplay
anything
though,
when it's
man.
been proven already, and he's admitted to lying when being under investigation for conduct. So that's my reasoning. It's like not only what he did is gross misconduct, but also I think the trust and integrity.
Croc didn't even have a
is
panel.
basically
Croc just got
non-existent
fired.
at this point.
That wasn't a panel.
Which is really sad and really shocking because, you know, he's one of the consistent officers for Shift 1. He does do.
When someone gets a
decent
panel, they got
police work when it
promoted.
comes to just,
That's
you know,
not the
basic
same. There
calls
were
and
two
stuff, but
panels. One of them got promoted. One got
investigation-wise,
fired.
I don't think this man should be anywhere near. I'm concerned. I would be concerned for the integrity of any other investigation that was to come thereafter.
Like just sitting in a room and just saying
And
this
then
person's
Maeve is
fired is boring.
unfortunately
You can make it so dramatic.
been covering for Riker, I guess. She's not done anything as bad as Riker, it seemingly. But then again, her trust and integrity is definitely called into question with, you know, corroborating answers and shit before going into an interrogation.
I believe if they hired Carmine, they'll hire you.
What the hell?
See, you can hear people.
Oh yeah, we can hear them.
What the hell?
But I don't think that it's the same for the meeting room.
Yeah, they can't hear you out there.
Okay.
Hello.
Is this private?
Yeah. Yes.
It's your panel.
Yes, Denzel.
Stop.
This is a panel to fire you,
stop.
Denzel.
No,
so.
please.
I wasn't
please.
on your first panel, so they wanted to like do a redo.
And we had to run it back.
Denzel, get out.
Okay, it's not a panel. Everybody fucking hates panels. Come on, Denzel. What you got?
Of
Hey.
course
Oh,
we
he
do.
laughed. He laughed.
Listen, you guys. You know, I don't want to sit here and bother your internal process, but I do want to let you know if there's any details or confusions that you guys have about the specifics that are outlined in the report I shared with you. I'm always you can always call me. I'll explain them to you or provide further clarification. I will let you know that the state marshals have settled on a special prosecutor, and charges are being posted in the next 24 hours. So
Okay.
think of that as you will. Okay.
I just have one question for Justice Angel, if that's okay. Not
Sure.
Marshal Justice.
Sure.
As Justice Angel, should lawyers be giving advice to their clients to alter reports 39 days after the incident?
That's a loaded question because I know the context to that question.
Okay. Is there another justice I can ask?
They're all gonna probably tell you no. So
Yeah.
you can
Okay.
call hard if you really want, but she doesn't.
Sup,
know
Horizon?
about
Thank
this
you.
stuff, so yeah, bye.
Oh, I mean, for me, we've got our internal process, but the fact that a lawyer is giving an officer advice to do this, ooh, that's hard.
Yeah, it's questionable.
Riker on duty. He is.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, so
just, yeah.
I was handling, before I found out any of this, man, I was handling another mishap with regards to Riker where essentially I'm recommending him. Fucking the fucking DAP shit is pissing me off, but I was recommending him 9 because there were 3 separate incidents that were not processed because of negligence, essentially. And I say that's like this. It's a moderate thing, so 3 of them together, 3 DAPs each would have been 9. I'm so disappointed. Like they're one of our, like both of those together are like you know, staple Shift 1. And it's just become more and more apparent. Like I'd heard how he had a court case recently where he just couldn't articulate anything, and he lost the court case because he couldn't articulate PC. And this is one of our FTOs. Like when it comes to skills, like in terms of like, you know, our actual the physicality
Everyone always in
of being
trouble?
an officer, great.
Because it's a job where you have to be
Mentality behind it,
perfect, and if you're
there.
not,
And I'm
you're
worried that
scrutinized
there's a lot of people within the force who just don't have the
by your coworkers, by the community.
I don't know, how would you put it?
That's what it's turned into.
The mind.
That's why there's not many cops. 'Cause it's
So I'll
Rough.
speak to the situation that happened in the courtroom because I pulled him aside afterward. After I'd heard what happened.
That's why I've been gone so long.
Because
Like, I got thick skin, but
prosecuting lawyer or
that shall get to
defending
you
for the
eventually.
appeal. And the fact is, she worded
Bothy,
a
thank you for the 4
question
months.
extremely straight, and so in his brain somehow, she asked, "Did you have PC to do this certain thing?" And he said, as an officer, "No, we don't have PC to do it." And I was like, "What?" He
That's why
related
I'll be happy to be out of this position.
blanket in his brain instead of to the
Well, I
actual
enjoy
incident.
being in the position.
The
I
actual
don't
incident that
enjoy
happened,
the
he
burden
did.
of
He had PC to do it, but on the stand,
fucking like
because once
everybody
again,
hating
police
you
report
for
is
what you
not,
do and hating you for all the
evidence.
things
It
that
can
you
be
don't
seen as
do.
hearsay. So your, vocal testimony
Frustrating.
is 100%.
You guys would not believe
what
the
is
amount of
taken
shit
into
that I
court.
caught
So therefore,
for
the judge had
firing Croc.
no recourse but to go ahead
hilarious,
and say, okay,
honestly.
your appeal is fine, because this guy doesn't know what PC is. He folded, he crumbled, he didn't get it, he didn't understand.
But that's what I'm saying is like, in theory, Riker can do policing, but when it comes to actual carrying it out in terms of like, being able to articulate what he's doing and why, he can't. And this was someone that was leading an investigation unit and is currently an FTO.
Don't blame me, but I don't see anyone else doing it without breaking. Yeah.
I didn't know any of this. Like, I didn't realize that articulation was such a weak
People
point.
just expect things to be perfect.
I didn't know that.
It doesn't matter who ends up in this position. Things will
prone to doing stuff
ultimately
like this,
be
I
the
guess,
same.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have been put into an FTO position.
I also think as high command that, we saw Slacks a certain way. He had been a captain. He had run a shift. He was appointed one of the very first captains. And when he wanted to get an investigation unit up and running, we put our faith in him that he was choosing the correct people. But now, of course, we can see all the issues that have come up.
If you're very integral
to
about decision making and weighing everybody's opinions, you're seen as soft.
As you said, there's 3 situations. That's 3 lots
if
of
you're
daps,
very,
it's right at the line.
If you're very quick at decision making, you slam the hammer down all the time, you're seen as corrupt.
Situation, but then with this, the major, the misconduct.
It's a lose-lose.
Under major is 5 daps right on top of that, so that would take him to 14. No, I was going to suspend pending review. Do you think I should still go ahead with that, or do we talk to him, hear him out, and then just make the decision here today, or do you think we should sleep on it?
I think you suspended one way or another. If you guys want, listen. Needless to say, I'll always be for the whole panel thing because I think, regardless if it's a clear-cut decision on our end, I think everybody deserves the opportunity to have that chance to speak their will in front of, the deciding members of the police department or whatever it might be. But I understand a lot of people don't share that opinion. But at the very least, he should not be on duty until the case, probably.
Yeah, the thing for me is that his commander right here, if Nakota were here, that would be the
They call it spineless when you try to see things out, and then when you make instant decisions, you get called a WCOM.
A lot more than
that's exactly how it is.
And that if there was something that he wanted to appeal, he should be able to come to high command and appeal.
At least the Marshals have fixed everything. You're right.
Given to him.
Just like Soze will fix everything once we're gone.
Us, make the decision. We can guide our commands, but in the end, this is their shift. We've specifically appointed them.
The biggest thing about
their shift, they know their people.
Why I'm not so keen on being in the position anymore
is just a big fat vote.
I can take all the shots day and day out from like everything outside of the police department.
These people know him best.
But when people from inside the police department start shooting back, like, I don't know, that's what I'm good.
Is Nakota around today?
He's on the LOA.
Oh,
Bev!
No!
Bev!
I'm telling you guys, it's the stress. It's getting to. I passed out earlier today. It was me. Now it's her. Getting into all of us.
Must be the IT chair.
About when was your favorite period of being chief of police? Like the first 2 weeks?
Well, I mean,
when I had all my fresh ideas before they had gotten murdered.
I mean, I'm kind of like
when the RP was okay. when the RP was like really fresh, and we had a good mix of like on-duty RP and then off-duty RP within the community and stuff like that. You miss Max? I miss certain aspects of Max. I definitely miss Moon being around, regardless of character. Mm-mm-mm. Mr. K is going to be coming for you now that you've